Hey friends, now we're going to move on to reading a nonfiction story and doing some lion animal facts. Okay, so what you need is a pencil, this fact sheet, and then a highlighter. And I'm using a green smelly highlighter. Let's see what it smells like. Ooh, it smells like mint. Can you smell it? It smells good. It's my favorite one. Okay, so get your reading fingers ready so we can read together. This is called African Animals. And this is nonfiction. So this means it's about real life animals and there are real facts in it. Here is the table of contents. This tells us what we're going to be reading about. Elephants, honey badgers, lions, ostriches, zebras, leopards, honey guides, and then there's a glossary in the back. We won't read the glossary, we'll just read about the animals. Okay, so get your reading finger ready, and then while we're reading, try to think about what you might highlight, which fact that you think is really interesting that you might highlight. Ready? Elephants. The largest of all land animals, elephants, live in groups called herds. Even though they are very large, they only eat plants, which makes them herbivores. The mother elephant has an extreme amount of love for her calf. Mother and calf stay in almost constant contact. Mother elephant will protect her calf from predators and the sun by putting her baby underneath her. She also uses her trunk to give her calf a bath. That's so cool. So now you want to look back through and think about what is a neat thing that you learned about elephants. And I'm going to choose one thing, but if you want to choose something else, that's perfectly fine. I think it's interesting that elephants live in groups called herds. So that's what I'm going to underline. And we're going to need that information later for when we do our fact sheet. Great job. Okay, get your reading fingers ready. This is about honey badgers. Ready? The honey badger looks a lot like a skunk. The similarities don't end there either. The honey badger can release a stinky smell if he feels threatened or wants to mark his territory. Their long claws and extremely powerful teeth protect them from predators. Most animals stay away from honey badgers anyway, though, because they are known for being mean. Unlike many other African animals, honey badgers do not live in groups and prefer their solitary status. Oh my goodness, the most surprising thing there is they are known for being mean. That surprises me, and I didn't know that about honey badgers. It's so surprising. Okay. Maybe you found something else. That's fine. Good job. Okay, the next part is lions. Lions. Get your reading fingers ready. Besides the tiger, lions are the largest cats. Lions live in groups called prides. While the male lion gets a lot of attention for his size and long mane, the females are the hunters of the group. Cubs or baby lions rely on their mothers for everything. The male lions have an important job too. They protect the pride and make sure the cubs get enough to eat. That's pretty cool. Okay, now we got to find something that we think is interesting. I had to switch markers because my marker was running out. I think it's interesting that lions are the largest cats. So I'm going to underline lions are the largest cats. You know, when I think about cats, I always think about cats that live in your house. And I forget that, you know, lions and tigers are also a kind of cat. And if you found something else in this article that you want to underline, that's fine too. And anytime I'm moving too fast, you can always press pause and stop and catch up and then start the video again. Okay, get your reading fingers ready. We're going to read about ostriches. Ready? The world's largest bird is also fast. The ostrich can run a speed of about 43 miles an hour when he feels threatened. Ostriches also have great eyesight. Their height and eyesight combined allow them to keep a close lookout for predators. Ostriches live near grazers who stir up insects for dinner. Ooh. The ostriches return the favor by altering or alerting the zebras, wildebeests, and antelopes of lions who are approaching. Well, that's very helpful that they alert the other animals and let them know when lions are coming. But I have to say, the most interesting information that I saw was they can hit a speed of 43 miles an hour. That's as fast as your car goes down the street. Whoa, that's pretty fast. Maybe you found something else, and that's totally fine. Okay, the next section is on zebras. Get your reading fingers ready. Zebras are grazers, which means they spend most of their day eating grass and plants. They live in groups called herds, but sometimes thousands of zebras come together in search of food and water. And this is called a super herd. When faced with predators, zebras will help each other out and form a semicircle, preparing to attack the predator if they need to. Their strong teeth and hooves are used in defending themselves against large cats and hyenas. Wow, that's really, they're smart to form a circle, work together to keep themselves safe. Okay, the most interesting thing I thought is the super herd. I've never heard that before. I've never heard about a super herd. Haha. Little joke for you there. That's interesting. Maybe you found something else. And the next is leopards. Get your reading finger ready. Leopards are extremely fast cats that are recognized by their black spots. Leopards prefer to be alone and spend much of their days lounging in trees. They become active in the evenings when they begin looking for dinner. A leopard will creep up on its prey, and when it gets close, it will pounce on the victim's neck. Sometimes they will even carry their dinner up into a tree to make sure a scavenger, such as a hyena or vulture, won't try to steal their food. Very cool. I learned a lot of new things about leopards. But the thing that I thought was interesting is that they spend time in trees. I didn't know that about leopards. That's really interesting. Maybe you found something else that was interesting about leopards. And the last animal is Honey Guide. That's from our book, Honey Guide from our book. Now we can learn a little bit more about Honey Guide. Get your reading finger ready. Honey guides are not only known for leading mammals to beehives, but they also have an interesting way of hatching their young. Honey guides lay one egg in the nest of 5 or so different birds. When the honey guide chick hatches, it will use its sharp beak to break open the outer eggs, the other eggs, and eat the insides. The mother honey guide makes sure that her egg hatches first by incubating the egg inside her body before laying her egg. Isn't that interesting? She incubates her eggs and then leaves her eggs in other nests. That's so interesting. But to be honest, the most interesting thing I learned today was that they are able to lead mammals to beehives. I did not know that. I didn't know about the eggs either. So both of those things are really interesting. So now we've gone through and we found out some really interesting information about all our African animals. So I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to get out this sheet and my pencil. And now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what your job is now. So now your job is to write one animal fact next to each one of those animals, but it has to be an animal fact that you just learned about or just were surprised about from the African Animals book that we just read. So let's start. Let's look at, I'm just going to go in order of the story. The first one we read about was elephants. See, elephant is right here. And I highlighted, they live in groups called herds. So that's what I'm going to write, but I'm going to write it in a sentence. So I'm going to write, they live in groups called herds. They live in groups called herds. And I have to write this last one very small because there's not a ton of space there to write. Okay. And the next animal we read about, are the honey badgers. And the thing I thought was interesting was they're known for being mean. So that's what I'm going to write for my fact. So I'm going to write, they are mean. They are mean. And my sentence is going to have a capital letter at the beginning and a period at the end. Okay, next we read about lions. And I thought that it was interesting that lions are the largest cats. So that's what I'm going to write on my paper. But if you want to write something different, you can. You just need to pause the video, write what you want to write, and then catch up with us next. So lions are, they are, I'm going to write, they are the largest cats. I'm just going to run out of space so I can just get my period over there. And remember, my sentence has a capital letter and a period at the end. Nice job. These are really cool facts that we've collected. The next we read about were ostriches. And remember, I thought the speed of an ostrich was really important and really amazing. So I'm going to write, they can run 43 miles per hour. So I'm going to write they can run 43. And instead of writing miles per hour, I'm going to write an abbreviation. So that's a way of making it a little bit shorter. I'm going to write MPH, and then I'm going to put my period. So they can run 43, and this stands for miles per hour. I have a period right there, and a capital letter right there. And again, if I'm going too fast for you, pause your video and catch up, and then start it up again. The next we read about were zebras. And I thought the super herd was really interesting. So that's what I'm going to write about. I'm going to write, they live in super herds. Actually, I'm going to change that. I'm going to say they can live in super herds, because I don't think they always do live in super herds. And even though I ran out of space, I'm still going to make sure I have my period on the end. Make sure I have my capital letter there. Great job. These are awesome facts we're finding. Next, we're going to do the leopard. And remember, when I did the leopard, I thought it was cool that he spent his time in a tree. So that's what I'm going to write. I'm going to write, they lay in trees. And I have my period at the end and my capital letter at the beginning. And last but not least, we have our honey guides that we are learning about today. Our honey guide that was one of the stars of our story. And there was many interesting things about a honey guide. The thing I think is interesting is they lead mammals to honey. So I'm going to write that here. They lead mammals to honey. They lead mammals to honey. Awesome job. Look at all these really cool facts that we have. You guys did a great job. Now, remember to go back to your checklist and check off lion animal facts, because we just did that together. Awesome. We'll see you for the next video.